I am in my pajamas. It is a Monday at 2:30 p.m. California time. And the reality of it is, I am very tired. I have been overextending myself. I have experienced some situations that were really out of my control in some aspects that just bothered my sleep in so many ways. And I have been exhausted. And today I am giving myself grace and allowing myself to have a nap, forcing myself to stop and sit down and focus on some things that I need to focus on, which is one, making some really great content and getting out some content that I have been really feeling passionate about sharing with you. I think I'm gonna put on some makeup. No, I'm not. I'm not putting on any makeup. And I'm not cutting this out. I don't feel insecure about how I look. I think just being so bare right now is just making me feel, I already feel vulnerable, but then it's making me feel even more vulnerable. But anyway, I'm Latoya Cooper. I am your brand strategist, elevating women entrepreneurs into iconic powerhouses that drive big profits. What is branding? I want to take this conversation a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about branding in terms of elevating to your iconic self, elevating your branding, taking your branding to the next level in alignment with the iconic version of you, the highest version of you. People talk about branding, but it's bigger than that. We sometimes can create a brand and then wonder why it doesn't work because it doesn't align with who we are. Or we create a brand and it doesn't feel good. It's great, it looks great, it's drawing in customers, it's making connections, it's making a lot of money, but it doesn't feel good because it's not aligned with the highest version of who we are. And because of that, there's not an equal exchange of energy. And my next video will be about equal exchange of energy, okay? So I have my notes in front of me. So if I'm looking down a little bit, it's because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything that might be important to you. What is branding in relationship to aligning with the highest version of yourself? It is building trust and connection through a cohesive experience the customer can understand, feel, and see their role in it. Whether it is as a buyer, someone who is referring someone to be a potential buyer, or a supporter. Let me repeat this. Branding is building trust and connection through a cohesive experience the customer can understand. The customer can create a vision. They can see it in their mind. Their brain can connect the dots as to what they're feeling in relationship to what you're creating. And they can see their role in what you are creating. People want to see themselves in what is going on and what is around them. People want to spend their money. They want to find a place to spend their money that's exciting, that really feeds them, that provides energy for them. And when we have a clear brand that aligns with who we are, then it's going to feel great to us, and it's going to be very clear to your potential customer and feel really great to them because they will be able to see their role either as the buyer, someone who can refer a potential buyer, or a supporter. One very common conversation that I have with clients is ensuring that their vision and mission is very, very clean, short, and straight to the point. Why is this important? Because we want our customer, we want our fan, we want our clients, we want our supporters to be able to understand what's happening from the first word that you say to the last word that you say. We want them to be able to see themselves from the first word you say to the last word that you say. A common scenario that I see with my clients is that maybe they're working with the vision and it's so long and it's jam-packed with information. So when they share it, people have a response of, what, tell me more, I don't quite understand. They're not able to grasp. So oftentimes I'll work with my clients and we'll drill down their vision and mission to literally a statement so that a person can remember the first word you say and remember everything in between and the last word that you say so they can process and figure out their role. The more simple and the more clear, the easier it is for people to understand what's happening and start to take action around what is happening. You may create a brand that makes money, but if you feel drained by the customer, you are going to get burned out and your heart is not going to be in it for long. This is why it's so important to brand in alignment with the iconic version of yourself, the highest version of yourself. This is why we see people who will create very successful brands and they'll walk away from them. A great example of this would be Dave Chappelle. Created a very successful brand, made lots of money, but just did not feel great about what he was doing and what he was creating because it was not in line with the highest version of himself, and therefore he had to walk away. We've seen this recently with Doja Cat, where there's moments while she is building her brand and pouring it into her fans that she does not feel good about the experience. And she made some shifts so that she feels a little bit more better about the brand that she is continuing to cultivate. I personally have had conversations with very successful entrepreneurial women who have come to me for this very reason. They're burnt out. They do not like their customer. Their customer gets on their nerves. There's something about the customer. And I'm gonna tell you right now, your customer is going to annoy you or get on your nerves, or you're not gonna feel a connection with your customer when you have outgrown your customer and you haven't honored that. Or when you have built a brand simply based off money. That's not always gonna be enjoyable. Wouldn't it feel great to be able to make the money that you want to make, but actually be present with your customer? So you don't even have to think about the money just comes in and you can be really, really present with your customer. It feels really, really great to be in that space. And I'm speaking from experience. You want to ensure that you're building a brand with longevity and that your brand is here for generations to come. The one thing that I love to ask myself whenever I am creating something is this an opportunity, a business, a brand that can be of value for generations to come? If so, you're moving in the right direction. But what also is going to support that longevity is leaning into the highest version of yourself, building that brand with the highest version of yourself in mind, the iconic version of yourself in mind. When we think about branding, a great way to visualize how to create effective branding is to look at branding in terms of a sunflower. You have all of these beautiful yellow petals, and right in the middle of that sunflower, you've got the little section in the middle that holds the sunflower seeds, and it's really large. In the middle there, what I would like for you to do is in the middle of that sunflower, I would like for you to think about the experience that you are creating, the cohesive experience that you are creating for your customer to feel, to see, to understand, to process, to be able to articulate on your behalf. Great branding really is about people being able to not only understand, but be able to market for you. They understand what's happening. They're able to describe you, your brand, what you are creating to other people. That's really great branding because it's clear. In the middle of that sunflower, you've got the experience. The petals on that sunflower are the steps that you take every single day that reinforce and clearly articulate the experience that you are creating. We're not just branding here. This is the elevated version of ourselves, okay? This is the iconic version of ourselves. We're already making money. We're already successful, but there's more. And it's okay to want more. It's okay to experience more. I have people that reach out to me who are multimillionaires, and there's shame around the fact that they want to make more money. There's shame around the fact that they want to build a bigger brand. And I have to reinforce with them that there should not be any shame around that, because you are meant to experience more than what you're experiencing now. And there should not be any shame around that. Every action that you take every day is reinforcing the experience that you are creating, the elevated experience, the iconic experience that you are creating. For example, if we have our sunflower and we have 5 petals, and in the middle of that sunflower, we have the word confident. I want to create a brand that communicates confidence. Remember that this is the iconic version of you. Really want to define a little bit more of what confidence really means for you. You might be confident, but there is maybe an elevated version of confidence that needs to come forward for you, that is required to exist in an elevated space and room. Petal 1 will be an important step in my brand building that is going to help support and exude confidence and reinforce the experience, the elevated, iconic experience that I am creating, that is elevated beyond what you're doing now. So let's say, for example, you have brand colors that exude confidence. But what if you want that confidence to exude a more calm, steady, peaceful confidence? Then those colors are going to change and those are going to evolve. So that first petal is going to be about your brand colors that are going to communicate this new level, this iconic level of confidence for you. These colors are going to be used everywhere. Your website, you may even wear some of these colors. We're going to use a lot of these new elevated iconic colors. The next thing might be your wardrobe or your appearance. Then we know we want to look at what would the iconic version of you wear. Yes, you dress wonderful and great now, but how can we take what you're wearing to the next level and it communicate and reinforce confidence, that next level version of you? The third petal may be more of how you communicate. Let's say you have always been someone who was a great communicator and you could articulate very clearly and you were confident in your tone. But now it is time for you to maybe speak your mind a little bit more. Maybe the next level iconic version of you is wanting to be a little bit more bolder with what you share. Then we know that third petal is going to be all about getting over the fear of pissing people off and really honoring how you're feeling and honoring what comes to heart and comes to mind and what you feel needs to be shared with the world unapologetically. So we've got 3 things that are going to reinforce what we have in the middle of that sunflower: confidence. We've got colors that reinforce your level of confidence. You've got style that represents that new level of confidence. You've got presentation that represents the new level of confidence. It's important to take a moment to reevaluate our products and services. In parallel with our pricing, our products as well need to represent this next level of who we are and what our brand and what we're creating. If you are rebranding everything, but you don't take a moment to look at your products and services, and those are out of alignment with the highest version of yourself, then it's going to throw everything off, and it's not going to ensure that the experience that you're creating that's sitting there in the middle of that sunflower is communicated clearly, right? So we've got to reevaluate all these components, and we have to take them up a level to the iconic version of ourselves as far as we possibly can. One of the smartest things you can do is honor your growth and honor the growth of your customer, client, or fan. Your customer may be experiencing growth as well, and they need you to step into that so that you give them permission to step into their growth as well. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Look out for the next video around branding like an icon. I'm going to be talking about equal exchange of energy. Buckle up, superstar. I'm Latoya Cooper, your brand strategist, elevating women entrepreneurs into iconic powerhouses that drive big profits. Buckle up.